Welcome to Master Muse Steel Wool, also known as Sean
Sean, Evan. There we go.
and Evan. Sean and Evan, thank you so much for being here today. We had a little technical difficulties, which is to be expected because someone didn't give me the proper training. So it happens sometimes. How are we feeling today?
Yeah, feeling good. Feeling good.
Great.
It's a beautiful day over here in sunny LA, a little hazy, but
Okay, nice.
doing great. Nice and warm out. Can't
Okay.
complain.
Okay, good. Now, this is going to be a little different, and I haven't quite figured out how I want to maneuver through this first part. So, Evan, you're on my left, and Sean, you're on my right. Evan, let's start with your experience, your beginning intro to music.
Well, okay, all the way back to the beginning, I would say that I first became attached to music in second grade. My parents, they're not musicians, but they love music, especially classic rock, and my mom gave me like one of those like CD players, before iPods.
Like the
So I had
portable
this
CD player.
portable CD
Okay,
player.
nice.
And she gave it to me for, I forgot where we were going, but we were just traveling at the airport. And I had two CDs. I had one was the Beatles' White Album, and the
Oh,
other
very
was
nice.
Queen's Greatest Hits.
Nice.
Second grade.
Yeah, second grade, and I love Queen too, but I got so attached to the White Album, just listening to it over and over again. And I realized that I wanted to be the Beatles. that
Don't
was
we all?
what my path.
Which band member would you want to be if you could be?
Well, I wanted to be Ringo, and that's why I started playing drums.
There we go. Okay, good answer.
Yeah, so I even grew my hair out by third grade. I had the Beatles haircut. And I had a little
Oh, I'm in
drum
love
set.
with you already. That is the cutest thing ever.
Yeah,
Who doesn't
yeah.
want a little third grade rock star?
Yeah, I was obsessed, and I just I've never put it down since then. All growing up, I was in bands playing covers around the LA area, doing like the House of Blues and stuff, and then and I just loved it, and I've been making music ever since, and since then I play drums in the band, so I play a ton of drums still, but I've also kind of, to keep it fresh, I produce everything as well.
Nice.
So
Okay, Sean, what was your introduction to music? What's your earliest memory?
Probably listening to music in the car on the way to school in like elementary school and secondary school. Also like lots of CDs.
Favorite
I
CD
listened.
that you had in elementary school?
I
You
think that
remember in elementary school?
I listened to a lot of music with my dad. My dad would put on a lot of Green Day and a lot of Oasis. Those are like the first two bands that I remember like having any agency towards, going like, oh, I like this music. This is good. This is cool. And
Yeah,
I still
Oasis
love.
was interest to me. Oasis was introduced to me much later in life. I mean, I knew a couple of their songs, but I didn't know. I wasn't great with like band names. I'd be like,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, I know this song,"
Yeah.
and then like, "Who sings it?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm not good at that part. And so I did like a little episode with Oasis and the Smiths and Louis Tomlinson, and that was such an education.
Hmm.
And their music is so freaking cool. But the funny thing that I'm thinking about when you say that is that when I listened to one of the songs, I was hearing the Smiths. I was
Yeah.
hearing some Morrissey influence in that.
I
Was
mean,
that
there's a lot
intentional?
of overlap. Oh, you mean from our music?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, because I know that Oasis and the Smiths, there's like a lot of
Yes.
overlap there. I think they're. I don't want to get anything wrong here, but I think they're both from Manchester, right? Or the Oasis is definitely a Mancunian band,
Yes.
and uh, I think that I remember hearing that the Smiths guitarist, whose name I'm blanking on,
Johnny Marr.
Right.
Of course, Johnny Marr, the incomparable
Thank you.
Johnny Marr, gave Noel Gallagher his one of his guitars to record some music.
Yes.
So
That's
Yes.
they're definitely very locked in. But I mean, I love the Smiths. Smiths are a fantastic band.
One
I
of
do.
my all-time favorite influences.
Yeah, they're crazy. I don't think that we were explicitly going let's try and like pull some of the Smiths in, but I mean they're so iconic and their music is so ubiquitous that I think it's, if you're making like guitar oriented music, you're gonna get like a little drip of them in there.
Yeah, and I'm really excited and happy about this project because I feel like all of our influences are kind of bubbling up and blossoming. And even though we don't say like, oh, let's make it sound like this, it's like all
Right.
of our kind of influences are able to flow through the project really well so far. So
Okay, so how
I'm glad you
did,
think that.
yeah, I was listening to, I was like, I wonder, I'll bring it up if they say something, because sometimes you tell people, oh, you remind me of this, and they're like, I'm not like that person at all. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry. I think they're terrible. I'm like, oh no, okay, just kidding. I don't think that,
Those hacks.
like Morrissey, what the fuck was he doing back then?
Yeah.
Meat is murder. The reason that I did that episode, it's called 3 Degrees with Proper Fangirl, and it talks about the influences that 3 artists have on one another. So the Smiths to Oasis and Oasis to Louis Tomlinson. So that's why they
Very
correlate,
cool.
because, well, that's why I picked them. But when I was doing that, the Meat is Murder song really threw me for, I mean, I know it's supposed to be very serious. I think he was very serious about being a vegetarian or a vegan or whatever the harshest version of that is. And
Yeah.
but the lyrics are really humorous to me.
He's hilarious. He's so funny.
When I saw him, I've seen him before, and he played Meat is Murder, and the entire time, the back projection, which is usually, they're showing the band, it was just
slaughter.
animal slaughtering clips.
I can't. I mean, I know he's very serious.
And they're like, oh,
Ooh, all right.
It's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have taken that last
yeah.
whatever that was. It's making me feel really weird about
Yeah,
this.
they'll put down that hot dog.
Yeah, I didn't mean to have a burger in the middle of your song, but
Yeah,
I don't know. That was the funniest part when I did that research. I was like, I had to quote some of it. I couldn't help it. I thought somebody's going to get really mad at me. Somebody from PETA is going to send me a special note and be like, bitch, you don't understand. I'm like, I don't. Chicken is good. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, I digress. Okay, so Evan, this band making Steel Wool, this was part of your creation? This was your idea?
Yeah.
How did you guys find each other?
So I put out a post actually on Facebook. There's an LA Musicians Wanted group, and it's
Wait, you're
crazy.
still
And
on the Facebook?
I know. I was trying everything because even though I've grown up around here, I feel like um I did feel like I was building from the ground up because I've done a lot of different things in life and it's pulled me in a bunch of different directions. But I've always wanted to start like a serious project, and so I was trying everything, and I got really lucky there. And for some reason, Facebook just worked out. I met Sam. Sam's our guitar player.
Okay. Sam
Um,
how do you say it?
Schlesinger, yeah.
Yes,
Schlesinger.
Schlesinger, sorry.
Yeah. And so Sam reached out to me. I basically just put out a post saying, hey, I'm looking to start a band and want to make originals and just listed off some influences and connected with Sam. And we actually we brought Jaden on, who's our bass player.
Jaden
Oh,
Amjadi?
Amjadi, yeah.
Okay.
And we kind of started playing as a three-piece just at my house. Everything is at my house, just recording into my interface. Just trying to just see what works, throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks. Um, and Sam and I kept writing. Jaden kind of like stepped back for a little while. He's like, I'm gonna let him like cook a little bit and everything. And few members tried out a few members here and there, fell in and out. Then Sam actually met
Okay. I've got a
Sean.
question about the
Yeah, of course.
creation of a band. To me, this sounds like the most difficult thing ever. I think that
Yeah.
there's a reason that boys think that this is the greatest idea ever. Because myself, me trying to get 3 or 4 other girls for us to get together and all have a similar idea of how we want to sound, what the theme is, what the feeling is. I mean, there's so much that goes into creating not your brand, I guess. Part of it is brand, but like what you want to, what the story that you want to tell. So, and I'm
Right.
endlessly fascinated in the band picking. Is it, Is ego an issue? Like, what would you say are the top 2 or 3 issues that you run into while you're trying to get people to be a cohesive group?
Well, um, well, I think of it like this is like you're gonna see these people more than you see like your girlfriend, you know?
Right.
And we're
Like their
all,
new family. Get
yeah,
ready.
late 20-year-old men, boys, whatever, and we've all been raised differently, right?
Right.
The biggest thing is just communication and cooperation. Everybody's gonna have their own little flavor
Mm-hmm.
of personality um, and finding people that are committed and down for the cause and ready to experiment is the most important thing to me on this.
Yeah, I honestly, I think so much of it is luck. Like you can't really engineer stuff like this. You can try. It's like shots on board pretty much. Um, but I keep repeating this anecdote. I think it was like Interpol that said something like this. They're like, bottom line, I'm just so happy we all found each other because it's so rare that you find a group of people that um, are like the same kind of general level of musicianship as you, like the same general kind of music and have the same level of commitment, the same desire to try really hard. And you have to do that like 3 or 4 times. And there can't be clashing personalities. The bottom line is there are tens and tens of thousands of incredibly capable, talented musicians who are not going to be able to reach their potential because they haven't found the right like people, the right group of people.
I mean,
A
what
great
drew
example.
you to Steel Wool?
Oh, I'm so lucky. It just kind of worked. I met Sam at a party and he said, I'm trying to start a band. And I said, I'm kind of interested in being in a band. I'd be down. And I showed up at Evan's place one day and it just like it clicked. It just worked really well. Um, the way that I describe it is all the things that I'm bad at, someone else in the band is incredibly good at, and everything that they are less good at, I'm good at. We're all like substituting for each other and like kind of becoming like what
A
when the
super
whole is
group.
sure. We'll see where it goes, but it's like the sum is greater than, well, what do you call it? What is the sum of its parts or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And
It
it's
all
all
four of
adds
us
up. It all
kind
puts it
of
yeah.
together to make it whole. I mean, you've got to be all whole people. But for people who have the strengths and weaknesses have to match, the people that come in and you go, yeah, I'm really shitty at organization. There's got to be somebody in the band who's really good at organization.
Hmm.
Somebody else is going to be like, I'm super creative and I'd love to do the marketing stuff, but I don't know how to get that out. There's got to be somebody who's going to know this looks good, this looks great, but here, let's add it to a calendar. Who's the most organized in the group?
Sam.
Sam is very
Sam's
organized.
dialed.
Yeah, Sam is has been the driving force for a lot of like the promotion on merch, a lot of the things that like I wouldn't think about.
Yeah.
That's what works out really well is I'm very I think like music driven and music focused, and I've always been like, oh, all that stuff doesn't matter. No, it
It
does
matters
matter.
so
It
much.
matters so much. So
All the parts
yeah.
matter,
Yeah,
honestly.
it's true. Sam's a machine, honestly. It's great.
So yeah, he's really organized with all that stuff. Yeah.
It's great because it's like, I think that we're all very aware of how lucky we got to find this group that is somehow quite balanced. And that's made all of us like opt in harder than we were expecting to, in a way. Because we're like, oh wait, this is actually kind of working. Like it's
Don't
let's
mess it
like
up.
rehearse more. Let's yeah, exactly. Don't
Let's
mess it
do
up.
more.
Put
Let's
put
really
more
lock
in.
in. Because
Right.
it is unusual. I mean, if you look at the statistics of bands and those that make it without somebody going, this is some bullshit and I can't stand Joe and Joe's driving me, or whoever,
Hmm.
you know, there's very few bands that are really making it. But the ones that do make it, because I've studied them, I did one of my episodes I did about bands that basically what they had in common was that they stayed together. So
Hmm.
U2, Coldplay, I'd remember the other one, but I can't right now off the top of my head.
Radiohead?
No, that's not who I did, but I can't remember. Anyway, but
No
the
worries.
point was they all talked about communication. They all talked about how important it was that even through like major life changes, like I think with U2, like one or two of them got into religion somewhere in there, and then it was like all these new rules that were being introduced to the band, and they were like, "Oh, okay, so that's okay, that's what we're doing now." And like they had to find a way to work around that. So I do think communication is a really big thing. Who's the one that's going to be like, all right, guys, everybody relax. Let's kind of talk this out. Who's going to be the first one to do that?
I would say either Sean or Jaden,
Jaden's like
the mediators.
Jaden's the spiritual leader of the group.
Yeah.
He's so great. I love Jaden.
He'll be able to tell us when something's whack, or he'll be able to be like, hey, you know, you guys need to like figure it out.
Figure it out. We gotta chill out.
And that is so important.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, because like I said, it's you really get to know these people, and when you're having to execute all these technical details with people, there's bound to be crazy things that come up. So yeah, Jaden's
What has
really
been the
good
biggest
with
struggle
that.
outside of communication? But what's been the biggest struggle once you're together? You know, you've got the right people. You know, this is the band that you want to have. What's been the biggest struggle so far?
I think the thing that we want to try and do is be the best band that we can, but that means a different thing to each person, right? We're
Okay,
like,
what does that mean to you?
so I have this chip on my shoulder from kind of studying jazz a lot, where I grew up playing jazz saxophone. That was my first instrument.
Nice.
So it's like, that's fantastic. I'm very grateful for having to have that kind of a background musically, because it's given me a lot of kind of tools with which I can dissect songs and do this and do that. But it's also bad because I've got this somewhat of a chip on my shoulder where I'm going like, oh, this song needs to be like adequately technical, or it needs to do these things in order for like me to feel good about it. And so like you could maybe say that I'm over prioritizing the fact that this music needs to be complicated enough for like that itch to be scratched. And so I think like finding that balance between all of us, where it's like, actually it doesn't need to do this all the time. But that goes back to what you were saying, Evan, about how it's like we each have this very different musical backgrounds. There's like decent overlap. We all love guitar music, but it's coming from different places, and the end result is taking the average of these 4 points and like landing in the middle of it. And that, I think, is what's like really special. So it's a challenge, but it's also like the best part. So it's definitely worthwhile to get it working. You know?
I think and kind of piggybacking what he said is, I think all of us want to be in a successful band, right? But what is success, and what is a successful band to 4 different people? You know, it can be more different than you think. I mean,
what is success for you right now?
Success, I think, is, well, we're in like an interesting growth stage. I think that in the short term, success for us would be just building a big. I compare our kind of media strategy to like building a megaphone. So just be to build the best megaphone that we can, because I feel really good about the EP. I'm really happy with how it came out. And now it's just, I think success is trying to grow that and trying to find people that connect.
Yeah, get it in ears, as many ears as you can.
And connect in a meaningful way. I think that would be success to me. Because I would rather have 10,000 people that are really into the EP than a million people who are like half into it, you know? So,
what's your relationship with social media? How do you feel? How do each of you feel about the beautiful, wonderful social media?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, is it what you anticipated? Because I feel like a lot of people right now we're in a weird spot. We haven't quite figured out how to make sure that artists are getting paid properly for the streams. That's how people are consuming music now. They're not walking around with their little CD Sony Walkman. They're streaming, and it's not quite there, in my personal opinion, and I'm sure in the opinions of a lot of artists. So while we're in this space, and also record companies are going, hey, we can sign you, but like, can you just do all the promo for it?
Yeah.
And let us know when you get to 200,000 or when you get to 500,000. So
I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because like many of like the issues it's wearing on its sleeves, right? Like everyone knows what the massive downsides of this over reliance on these enormous tech companies to pay musicians with like massive shareholder obligations that they have to meet, and the annoyance of having to like promote stuff. Like if you're back in like the 70s, you like and
It's
like
word
a
of mouth.
musician. Well, it's not even just that, but it's that like musicians these days have to be like their own marketers, but they also need to be their own like engineers. Like I'm so lucky to have found Evan because I could not make this music sound this good. It's such an enormous burden to try and do all this stuff. Um, but so in that sense, it's really annoying. But it's great because you're like with you have such a wide outreach that you could be making like the most like weird niche music ever and still reach your audience. So I think it's very easy to be super pessimistic about it. There are massive issues that need to be fixed. But at the same time, like there's so much music that's being made today that would have been just completely overlooked as recently as like the 90s that instead is able to like flourish to such an extent that they're like weird festivals that like cater to exactly this weird subgenre of music. So in terms of the output that's kind of that's getting out there, I think it's fantastic. But the issues again are very clear. They're like stapled on the wall. Like we can see them. We just
Right.
got to fix those, and then it's amazing.
I think that's a really good perspective. Evan, do you feel like marketing is and self promotion for the band is an albatross, or do you feel good about it while you're
Um,
doing it? I mean, have you found a
yeah.
way to make it fun?
I mean, it does. It feels very unnatural to me. I'm
Mm,
starting to get used to it a little bit more. Um, and I think that I've like now that I've been getting used to it more, I realize that you know it's important to just be yourself and and talk. I think about it this way now. It's like I get to talk about music and my influences and how I started, and that is a lot of fun. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it is. So yeah. At first I was off put by it, but I'm starting to get used to it, and I do like it a lot. And I'm happy to be able to share with people more about my passion.
Yeah.
You know?
Someone said something the other day. It's like the path to success is paved with cringe. You know, there's
it
no way around it.
is. It
It's like
is.
you have to be super cringe. You have to be
Yeah.
like, hey guys,
It's
like I made some music. Come listen
It's
to
like,
it,
do you want to
please. And you're
listen
like,
to it?
oh,
If you do you want to check it out, if you could stream it just every day that you're alive, and that's okay. If you could just tell me what you think about it and share it with all your
yeah,
friends, I would really. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
everything. I never liked social media. Social media was the bane of my existence. I wouldn't do it. I had my stuff so locked down. Nobody at work could ever find my stuff, and
mm-hmm.
now I have videos of me talking about Harry Styles. And then I'm like, I have a
Yeah.
podcast. Hi guys, go listen to the and it's the craziest thing I've ever done in my life. And I cannot
Yeah,
believe that I'm doing this. Self-promotion? Are you out of your
yeah,
mind? However, having moments like this where I'm talking to musicians, I feel like the coolest person in the world that I get to do this moment where I get to talk to two guys that are in a like when in my existence would I ever be doing that?
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
because I'm willing to do this thing where I'm like, hey guys, check it out. Also, there's another platform that I'd like you to visit. Please go on Threads and soon to be Lemonade and whatever. It's like all the places, copy paste, whatever. I will do the thing because I love this. This is
Right.
fun. Now, this may not be your favorite thing. Your favorite thing is going to be on the stage and then
yeah. It's probably
connecting.
playing the music. That's
Yeah,
that's probably the
yeah.
most
It's like
Yeah.
I don't want to do this all the time. Please don't make me talk to crazy people on the internet all the time. But in that performance, and you're seeing people out, your fans, the people that are want to, and you're going to have people following you about. Are you prepared for that?
Um,
probably not.
no, yeah. I mean, I guess like we'll see what
We'll cross
happens
that
if
bridge
it
when we
happens.
get there.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you hope your relationship would be with the people that are following your journey and really are invested in your music? How do
Yeah.
you want to connect with them? What would be ideal? I mean, tell them now. Tell them
Come
before
to
you're
a
having to
show.
do
I
a
don't know.
Chapel Roan thing. You're like, she's like,
Yeah.
absolutely don't touch me ever.
I would want them to come to the show, say hi, maybe buy me a beer.
Love.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just it kind of goes back to being able to talk to people about music. I mean, if I get to talk to people about music, even if it's my own music, that's that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that wish that they could do that, and so I'm happy to do it, and yeah.
Okay, tell me about the creative process. We're writing. I'm extremely interested in how every single person I talk to, how they get in the room, who's in the room, what kind of vibe are we trying to create when we're writing? Are we walking in thinking, oh, I want to write a song about X, Y, and Z? Are we more focused on the sound that we want for that song? Tell me how that's working.
Yeah, everybody plays their own role. I think a good example would be like Tired Movements, where Sean had a great idea pretty much already fleshed out for the lyrics and the guitar riff, and then he'll say, "Hey, I got this idea. Bring it to me. We'll go to my house and just make a demo of it." And then for the end, he's like, "Oh, I just want to go like crazy. Like I want to sound like like I don't even know if I should say. I want to sound like Reckoner, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it'd be great if it sounded like Reckoner. That'd be sweet.
But like I'm like okay. Start bringing in some shaker, some piano, some bass, and kind of just building it that way.
But it's definitely not a one size fits all thing. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be one way that we wrote one of those songs. But kind of what I'm realizing, my favorite way to write the songs is when you guys like have a demo already that is like kind of bare bones. You have like some sounds or like a couple of parts that are interweaving together. And then I come in and I listen to it like super fresh for the first time. And they've already done all this work to get it up to this level where it's like a thing, and then I have this kind of it's like a great jumping off point where we can kind of go, oh, what if we did this and what if we did that? It's kind of like running a relay race where you guys have just been absolutely burning it for the first 100 meters, and then you're passing the baton, and then I'm like, oh great, I got these ideas now, and then I can take some of the creative burden that they take and build on the shoulders of giants as you guys have done. That's really fun. I really like doing that.
And I would say for this EP too, like the steel wool machine has been like churning. Like Sam and I will kind of write. We'll just jam and we'll just write at my house. We'll kind of get like maybe like a verse and chorus ideas together. He'll throw some leads on top of it, and then once it's in a good place, put down for a day, come back, listen to it, see if you like it. Then we'll bring it to Sean and Jaden. Jaden will throw down some bass. Sean will write lyrics and a lot of the top line melodies. And then I will take all of that and basically just put a bow on it. Yeah, that was how most of this EP was written.
Okay, how do you address someone coming in with an idea, you're not feeling it? It's not.
That's great.
Honesty is the best policy.
Okay, so you say that?
I'd rather someone came in with an idea that's like a real swing than they didn't come in with an idea at all. Like swings are good. I think that the best way to kind of make something really great is just getting the reps in, like try and do something. You have this process. You're like, I'm going to write a song that sounds like this or that does this thing. You put like a little constraint on it, and you work within that constraint for a little bit. You develop it as far as you're comfortable to, and then scrapping it. That's a great way to do it. You can't be precious with it. You can't be like, oh, this is going to be perfect the first time.
It feels precious. It feels vulnerable. It feels to me like I'm going to come in there and be like, listen, I've got to talk about my ex and how much, that was bad. And that was the most ridiculous thing. And I want to say the worst thing that I can about them, but in the, most chill way with a lot of metaphors. So they don't really know I'm talking about them because otherwise they might think I'm obsessed.
Of course.
And then you're like, okay, but like we've already written 5 songs about that asshole. Are we still writing? I'm like, oh my God, I have more. I have more that I have to pour out. And
Yeah.
I feel like, has anyone ever come back and go, I know that we shit on that idea before, but can we go back to it? Because I'm really kind of stuck on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think even though I said honesty is the best policy, one thing that I've really tried to bring to Steel Wool is always entertaining the idea or entertaining the
Yeah.
thought. I think that a really important part of like writing original music with like other people is just being able to like go along with it and live with it for a while. It's really important to
Mm.
live with it for a while because my knee-jerk initial reaction is going to be either slightly different or very different than how I feel about it next week. So, you know, and also it's important that we each get to have our voice and say what we feel and translate that into art. And so, yeah, it's a balancing act. And then it's also a democracy. Like, if if one of us like is really bent on this idea, but all three of us are like, no, like it's probably
It's like, yeah, sorry. That's not
yeah,
gonna work. Jaden, that's a
yeah.
terrible idea. You're gonna have to, that's
Yeah,
not gonna work.
that is
Go
one of the
go think about
benefits
your
of that.
feelings and woos on the corner. Have you guys started touring yet? Have you started gotten on the road yet? Or are you still working in your hometown?
Yeah, we're playing a lot of shows in LA. That's the great part about this city is that there's a really healthy little kind of underground scene here, so we can kind of bop around and play
Okay,
shows here and
how
there,
are we
go to
getting
shows.
gigs? How are we doing this? Who are we contacting? How's
Sam
this
is
happening?
actually Sam is actually like the machine behind that too. Sam goes to a lot of shows. We need to start going to more shows with Sam because
Yeah,
he's putting us to shame at the moment.
and Zach.
Yeah,
We
Zach.
have a little bit of a manager who's been helping us, and unfortunately he moved to New York, which stinks.
Yeah, we miss you,
But
Zach.
he's still been doing great work and just really representing us really well. And so Sam and Zach have been amazing at booking shows. And then you got your, you know,
Yeah, we got I
house shows.
we threw one house show like in my garage. That was a lot of fun. I want to do more this year. It's a lot of just like walking around, like meeting people, saying hello, saying like, "Oh, we like your music," and then one day, like someone might drop out of a lineup, and then you go, "Hey, like, we can you play the show 2 weeks from now?" And then it works out. You just kind of have to like throw the net wide, be a personable dude, and put your name out there, and stuff will start happening.
Man, I
And
feel, go ahead.
I just want to add on like that, you know, LA is not in short supply of 30-minute slots. And there's a lot of clubs out here,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of bands, and there's a lot of 30-minute slots. So you know, we've been jumping around a little
Okay,
bit.
so be brave, be bold, get out there and ask. I mean, I've said this before. I know what I was going to say earlier too. I feel like the songwriting thing is a completely different experience for a band than it is for a solo singer. So everybody that I've talked to previous to today have been just solo singers. I mean, they have a band behind them
Hmm.
supporting them, but they're not always writing with them. Do you feel like that is to your benefit as
Oh,
songwriters?
hell yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I could never be a solo act. I just don't think that it's
You know,
possible.
Harry
Like,
Styles said that, so be careful.
maybe, sure.
He
I mean,
said
fair enough.
never.
And
How
if
dare
any
you?
of us were gonna do a solo thing, it would be
You
Sean. So
think
I
so?
don't know.
I, I just, I, I am so socially motivated. I'm a very socially motivated person. The fact
Yeah.
that there are like other guys in this band that are relying on me to write a part is so good for like me keeping deadlines. Like knowing that, oh man, this has to happen by this date so that Evan can mix it and so that we can do this so that we can hit this deadline. That's that's fantastic pressure for me.
And
And
also the fact of the matter is that you already said it. When you get the luck, when you find the people that just somehow just kind of fit and interlock and work well together, if you think that happens so easily again, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I'll tell you that Harry Styles' band is not the same as it was in 2017, as it was in 2021, as it was in 2022 and 2023. Like the people are rotating out of his band. It's like,
hmm,
but the people that were in one direction, we did have that one little mishap with God bless Sane. But,
yeah,
you know, like it's hard to recreate. So, don't go out on your own.
No, I don't have plans to. Don't worry.
Yeah, please don't.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you feel like you have the benefit of having all of each other in order to do this
Also,
process
bands are
of
cool.
writing.
There got to be more bands out there. Bands are really
Yeah,
rad.
I
There's
feel
not
like we're
enough
missing
bands.
out. I really
Yeah.
do. I feel like we need to have we're having some moments with the female artists.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we definitely are having that right now, but let's give a boom for the bands. I'm
Yeah.
down for it because
Yeah.
the fangirls, man, they love a band because then you get to pick your favorite. That's how that goes for the fangirls. They're like,
I
oh
just
my
like
god.
watching a team. I like seeing a team do something. It's like,
Okay.
I'm rooting for that team. Look at them go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Okay. So when you think about traveling, which right now you're doing the thing in your hometown, how would you like to do that? How does is everybody on board that if you had to climb into the back of a really shitty van and stay in a crappy motel and eat ramen and do all that for a little while, is everybody okay with that? How do we feel about that process?
Yeah, I mean, and it goes back a little bit to what you were talking about with Spotify and like paying artists and stuff. And so we all have jobs, right? Like we all got to pay the bills. Yeah, exactly. So, I think kind of in our minds we want to just start with something fun, small. I think we're all down to just get into a van and ride. And I mean, we've spent a lot of time together, so we don't. That's not really an issue. Um, it's just taking the time off work, making sure everybody's ready. But yeah, hopefully next year we just start small and just do something up the West Coast. Um, and have fun with it. So
That's my
I'm
favorite
excited
thing.
for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
My
yeah,
favorite thing is watching people find all the different ways. I mean, I talked to a lot of different people, and everybody has a different way of doing it. One of the artists that I talked to that's in Nashville, they were like, I just wanted to try it. And they went by themselves and, just the acoustic guitar and their whistle, great whistler, Shell. Anyway, and just wiggled up, part of the East Coast. They didn't think that it was the worst. They didn't think it was the best, but it was this whole experience that they had that they wouldn't take back. And I just feel like there's so many different ways to do it. So yeah, find a way to wiggle your way up the West Coast so that
yeah,
you can get your fan people. I don't want to say
exactly.
fangirls.
And
What are
those are and
fanboys called? Do they have a name?
Uh,
Just
fanboys.
fans?
fanboys, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Fanboys, fangirls.
Fanboys. Yeah, okay. They need a better name. Fangirls is just so fun. And I feel like it should just be like a gender neutral term,
Mm.
because
Audience is the fancy word.
Audience. The
oh,
Find
audience.
your audience.
Or
yeah,
just fans. There you
yeah,
go.
just
Yeah,
fans. I don't know.
yeah.
So, but
But those
super
are the moments.
fans.
Yeah, and traveling and being able to just play music in a different town. I think those are the experiences that you look back on when you're older and you're really happy you did. So I think we're excited for that.
Okay, what's been the greatest experience that you've had so far performing?
Um, I loved playing my garage show. That was great. I think it's, you have like hometown shows where you're like, you hear people say, oh, it's so great to be like back at home. But like when I played at my house, it was my house. Like
Literal
it
home.
was my
Yeah.
literal home. I felt just so kind of confident and comfortable because it was like, you are all guests in my home. This is my place. And now I'm going to perform with the band. And it was great.
Yeah,
That was really, really, really fun.
that was an awesome one. Also our first show was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
We played with some of our good friends, Force Model, who also run Bug Body, which is how we release a lot of our music through them. And so we got to play with them, and we were actually supposed to play a venue, I think, and then pulled out, I think, the day before or the day of. So we weren't even sure if it was going to happen, and we were bummed. And then one of Sam's coworkers and friends was like, "Hey, you guys can play in my backyard." We found a PA. We put the PSA out there. Everybody, we're not playing here anymore. We're playing here. And the show was awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
that
our
was
first
fun.
show. It was a lot of fun, and we had a decent, you know, crowd, and everybody was really into it, and I think I'll always remember that show for sure.
I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, it's when it doesn't go right, perfectly right. My daughter just went to New York for the first time by herself. She's 25, and you know, all the different little things. I won't share all the mishaps, but there were a few mishaps in the process. And all I could think of was, you know, you'll never forget the first thing that you did, whether it's the first trip that you ever take or the first show that you ever did. And you're not going to remember all the ones that go super, super well. You're going to remember when it messed up, when it wasn't perfect. So when was a time where you were doing something where it messed up outside of your venue? Not quite happening. But was a time where it messed up? What did you learn? How did you get over it? Who managed it well or poorly?
I mean, I think whenever you step into like a totally new situation, like mistakes and screw ups are kind of just a part of the process. You just have to have like a good mentality about it. There's nothing particular where I was like, oh, I remember us like total disaster here. But you know, like you'll miss a bar, you'll miss a signal here or there. But I think that honestly, having like a good kind of calm mind where you're performing, you notice that a mistake has been made, but you don't panic and you don't go inside your own head. That's like the most important thing. If you can just kind of go, oh, that's happened, let's fix the problem and let's keep moving as if it didn't happen. Because that's the other thing. We're
Because
playing
most of the
such
times we're not going to know.
exactly, and we're playing such loud, like abrasive, like reverby, distorted music that we have like extra layers of redundancy and like protection so that people aren't going to notice.
Hmm.
Um, but if you like kind of immediately go, oh man, I've just made this huge mistake. Damn it, I can't be doing that. I can't do that again. I got to make sure that I got to like, and then you're suddenly you're in your own head, you're out of the moment, and you're focusing on like what like actually you're playing, and then immediately it's over. You can't. It's
That's
a
weird.
very
Yeah.
hard thing to get
Yeah.
yourself out of that mind state.
I do remember when I was a kid, I
Yeah.
think one of the craziest like experiences I had was I was playing drums and I didn't bring any extra sticks with me, and I dropped a stick like at a very critical moment of the song, and I remember panicking, one hand, child, so scared, everybody's watching, and so I started hitting, like I started touching my snare, like hoping to make some noise, and it didn't make any noise.
That's Saint Anger
Yeah,
snare.
and ever since that, I've remembered to bring extra sticks. I put those extra
Oh,
sticks
okay.
in
See,
the drum
that's
set.
my point. Okay, that's how we learn. We're
Yeah.
not learning by all the stuff going perfectly well. Okay, is there anything that you have to do before a show to be in the moment? Are we got rituals going on? Are we superstitious in any way? Who's doing something super weird? Because I feel like it's you, Evan.
um, Nah, I mean, I like to have a couple drinks before the show, just loosen
Okay.
up a little bit, warm up. Not too particular, not too OCD.
Yeah, me neither. I think we're pretty early in the career still. We'll see if
Yeah,
any neuroses kind of crop up in the coming months. But
yeah.
Please
There
let
is
me know.
a mental there is a mental aspect of performing live that actually, so I would say like my warm up is really just to like set myself, be present, relax, realize this is just like practice. It's not
Right.
any different. I know these songs. Um, just combating stage fright, you know.
Do you
Um,
listen to other music before shows or no?
I actually do. On the car ride, I like to listen to
yeah,
music. Just go back to just clearing the head, you know.
Empty
yeah.
it out. Shake
Yeah,
it
because
out.
it can be a runaway train. You start thinking a little bit too much about it. Um, you'll get nervous, and then you'll kind of get in this feedback loop.
Yeah.
At least I do.
Yeah.
I'm calling Evan with some rituals coming up in the future. I feel like
Yeah.
that. He's like, you know, I'm the writer. I have to have a candle, and it's got to be a vanilla scent, and it needs to be on the left, and it light it for 2 minutes, and then let it go, and then
Probably.
I could breathe in the yeah. I feel,
Open the
and
door
I don't want
three
to
times.
call
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to call anxiety on you. I'm just saying there'll be some things that I feel like you'll add to your repertoire.
Yeah. Your lucky socks.
Hey, if it works,
Yes.
it works.
Yes.
I'll be wearing those
I
Landi
don't think
socks
there's
every day.
anything wrong with it. I think that, when we realize how powerful our minds are and how important how our bodies feel when we're doing a thing or about to do a thing, yeah, things make it added to get us in the right space and whatever it takes so that you can get out there. Because what we are wanting as your fans, as your audience, fangirls, fanboys, we're hoping that you're having the best time ever. Because watching you have the best time ever is going to make us have the best time ever. It's so incredibly freeing.
Yeah.
What do you want when your audience, I want to do it again. When your audience, your fanboys, fangirls, they, thems, whenever they're listening to this EP that just came out on April 10th, what are you hoping that they take from it, feel about it? What's your hope on that?
Well, I think my philosophy with art is, everybody's gonna extract a different meaning from it, like a Stanley Kubrick film, right? Everybody has kind of what they think the ending is about. So I like to keep it ambiguous like that. But what I do really hope is I hope that people are able to latch on to a specific moment, a specific song, and really connect it and in whatever way that they can and take that into their life. That would be amazing.
I hope they like it.
Yeah, I hope they like it.
Hope they like it.
Yeah.
Okay, true and important. I do think that sometimes artists are so afraid of assigning meaning to a song that I still think there's a feeling. I'm not going to push you for it, but I do think there's a feeling that people, an overall, like, I mean, I listened to Tortured Poets Department Society, whatever that was, with Taylor Swift. I was talking to my roommate and I was saying, I would love to do the album reviews. And I was like, I don't know that my first listen would have been the greatest representation of what I thought of the album. Because I ended up liking maybe 7 of the songs, but there was like 25 songs. That's a lot of songs. And my first takeaway was like, okay, I think that you had a lot of feelings and you probably should have written a poetry book in addition to 12 songs.
Yeah.
That was my feeling. And that she had a lot of feelings going on.
Jumping really quickly back to something that you said at the start of that, where you're like about assigning meaning, about the artist assigning meaning.
Right.
I think that like we wrote the song, but like we don't deserve to assign a meaning. We're not we're not prescribing this is what this song is about. Like it's in the eye of the beholder or the listener. It's on to people what they want to kind of interpret from it. Like sometimes I'll like mishear a lyric and think that a lyric is a certain way for like years and years and years, and like have a song kind of grow to be this massive emotional thing for me. And then I'll like look up the lyrics one day and be like, oh, they weren't singing that. But that doesn't make my experience with it any less valid. And I don't want to kind of say it's not like a puzzle to be solved. It's just like something to live with. I just hope that people can kind of find parts of themselves in the music and connect with it in any way that kind of feels appropriate for them at the time. I hope they like it. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like I've talked about this in the last interview that I did. I was talking about a song that a friend and I share that we really, really loved, that we really connected to, that was extremely emotional. Our experiences were completely different. Hers was a little more abstract. Mine was a little more literal, but there's still this really deep emotional connection that we have to the song. And I don't know how he meant the song at all. And I don't really want anyone to burst my bubble if I think that a song is about, like there's the Justin Timberlake Troll song, you got a feeling or can't stop this feeling or something like that. Anyway, he's gonna be real happy that I knew that exactly. I thought he said a pocket full of soap for the longest.
Great lyric, by the way. Crazy lyric.
Pocket full of soap.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I mean, yeah, I don't know what that means. Like, I stick my hand in my pocket and I get clean. I don't know. I don't understand what's happening with that. But then I was like, oh, it's a pocket full of soul. Okay. But that didn't really change the entire meaning of that. I just wanted to say pocket full of soap. But I do think that if I have a feeling about what I think a song is about, I don't want you coming out and telling me the song's about your sister, because
100%.
your song is not about your sister to me.
Once you
Because
put it
I
out,
wasn't
we lose control. It's not
right.
our song anymore. You know, you gotta let it go. I want to do the next thing now. You know,
Mhm.
I don't want to like monitor and control the way that people
The
are
narrative.
consumed. Yeah, exactly. Like it's
Yeah.
I mean,
done.
do
It's
you
out there.
read comments about how people are taking it in?
Yeah, I think well we're at a nice happy stage right now where it's friends and it's friends of friends
Hmm.
and
Right.
some outlets that are picking up because they like it. Um, eventually you'll get to that point where we have haters.
Dude, I
We don't have
can't
any
wait to get
skillful
haters.
haters
I
yet.
need haters.
Yeah. Actually, haters would make me feel really happy
I'd be
because
like,
it's like,
oh,
oh, we're at the
yes,
next stage.
we're
We have
doing
haters.
something.
Right. When the people come to you and be like, I hate you because your hair is brown, you're like,
You're derivative.
oh.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
ripping them
you're
off.
thinking about me. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
It does really,
I
it
get
is a
it.
marker of success at this point. It really is. I think we're going to go ahead and skip to, we'll talk a little more about the project at the very end, but let's get into my 7 rapid fire questions that are 7, but not rapid. Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, not rapid. Pretty slow. Just kind of, just answer them at will. And I'm going to let you both answer, so it'll be even slower, which I just enjoy. I tried to do the rapid fire. That was the original idea.
That was the plan.
And so I have to make this speech every single time, and I would change it. But it's just part of the podcast now. Tell me your ideal vacation, and this could be things that you do or a place that you go or both. And we'll start with Evan.
Okay. Um, I got my Okinawa shirt on. I'm part Okinawan. I love Okinawa, Japan. It's an island off of Japan.
My
That
son
I've been
wants to
there
go there
once.
so bad.
Huh?
I said my son wants to go there so freaking bad.
You guys gotta go. You guys gotta go.
I don't know
It's
if I want to
amazing.
go. I think I'm too tall and quite frankly, a little
Nope.
too fluffy for the.
Too tall?
Yeah, I feel like they're going to
What do
be like
you
taking
mean?
photos of me like I'm a zoo animal. I don't want to feel like a zoo animal. I don't know.
One thing about Japanese people is they are very, very nice. And they will help. They will bend over backwards to accommodate and help you, as long as you
Okay.
say thank you.
I mean, my son is
So,
obsessed
yeah,
about Japanese
it's
culture. He wants to do and know all things.
mhm.
His Duolingo is Japanese.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting culture, especially the contrast. The similarities and the differences from America are very like in your face when you're there. And Okinawa is special because there are a lot of military bases on it, so it has an interesting like Western influence while still maintaining its identity. And I compare it a lot to like how Hawaii is kind of um, attributed to the United States, but they have their own identity.
Hmm.
And I really felt that in Okinawa too. They're Okinawan, the locals, and they're very proud of it. And I went with my sister, my mom, who's half Okinawan, and then my grandma, who's full and grew up there. So it was just an amazing experience. I want to go back.
Okay, what about you, Sean?
Uh, I love the mountains, getting up to the mountains, getting up to nature. That's super cool. I think that I don't really have like a dream location per se. I'd love to visit Thailand. That'd be super cool. I love Thai
Mm.
food. I think what's just important, no matter where you go, I can't have it like be super kind of scheduled out. I like just going somewhere with like spend a week in a city where you have like two things that you want to do and just spend time just like kind of like living slowly and just kind of exploring it gently.
I
It's
so
nice.
agree with that. I don't like the
It's really nice.
schedule, the 8 a.m. here and the 10:15 there. I'm
No.
like, guys, we're on vacation. I do that
Yeah, I
all
want
the
to
time in
relax.
life. Yeah,
I
I
want to
want
chill
to take a
out.
nap. That's what I want to do.
Lie
Okay.
on the beach.
Yes. Okay. Number 2, favorite concert that you've ever attended, and a concert or a band or person that you would like to see in person.
Hmm. Okay, I'll start. My favorite concert I ever went to is we used to have this festival out in LA called FYS Festival. And it always had the coolest lineup. And one year I went, I saw Tame Impala on their Currents album or on their Currents tour, open for Kendrick Lamar on his To Pimp a Butterfly tour. And that back to back
That's pretty
was
dope.
the best experience.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like you're just watching two masterpieces, you know,
That's
back to back
crazy. Okay, who
of
do you
different
want to
genres.
see?
Who do I want to see? I want to see that Led Zeppelin reunion.
That'd be crazy.
It would be so awesome. There's three of them still out there.
Yeah.
They still play. If they would just get together, that's what I need to
Okay.
do.
Okay, what about you, Sean?
Uh,
Favorite concert ever you went to?
favorite concert ever. I think a really formational concert that I went to when I was like, I think a sophomore in high school. I saw like Kaiser Chiefs play. The Kaiser Chiefs like a British rock band from like 2000s and 2010s, but they make bangers. I love the Kaiser Chiefs, and it was the first time that I was like at a festival and like seeing them, and I was like kind of in the pit getting jostled around a bit. And their music is just so good at like fueling that kind of energy. Like they have a song called like "We Are the Angry Mob." It's great. They're really really fun, and I just remember having the most electric time and like a switch flipped in my brain, and I just realized that that's like kind of where it started, where I was like, I need to do this all the time because of how much fun it is. That was a super formative important concert for me.
Okay.
um,
Who do
and
you
concert
want
I'd
to
love to
see?
see, Radiohead. I'll pay $1 billion to go see Radiohead.
Okay, don't
I
say
don't
$1 billion
care.
because man, they'll just do it. That Ticketmaster will be like a
I
billion and
listen.
one.
They'll be like, all right.
It's worth it, dude. They're the best. I love Radiohead so much. They're my favorite band. I think that they're amazing. I'm constantly in awe of their output. It's really nuts. I'd love to see them live,
They're going on tour.
dude. So they say. Well, why? Well, it's not official yet. They're little rumblings. Knock on wood. I'll be there.
I want to add on to Daft Punk.
Oh yeah, I
Daft
mean
Punk.
that'd be sweet. They're amazing.
I think it's fun just to think about, the kind of the wish list of people that you would like to see. I mean, I have a whole wish list of people that I'd like to talk to.
Hmm.
It's just nice to think about. Okay, an overrated holiday and an underrated holiday. When I say holiday, I mean like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween. What's overrated?
Overrated. I have my hot take of the overrated holiday is Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's overrated.
Thanksgiving's overrated. Food is okay.
Yeah. This is a great take that my roommate Jacob actually has, where he goes, the only reason that we think Thanksgiving food is good is because we only eat it once a year. Like if you had one burrito a year, you would be like, wow, burritos are the best food ever. I can't believe the best thing. And I think the burritos are better than turkey, but I also wouldn't call burrito the best food ever, ever, ever in the entire world necessarily.
Yeah.
But turkey definitely isn't. Turkey's pretty good. I like turkey.
Stuffing and gravy is the only redeeming quality. Underrated. I would have to say Halloween because I believe it should be a month long.
Damn.
Because the vibes are awesome.
I feel like Halloween's pretty rated. People really, really like Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. But it's only one day and then it goes in the past.
It just depends on the person. It really just
Yeah.
depends on the person because there's some people are out like, I hate Halloween. It's the worst. It's not my favorite. I don't. First of all, I was traumatized as a child and I wasn't allowed to trick or treat. So number one, basically just reminds me that I'm angry at my parents still. And two, like it's just so much pressure on the outfit. It's
Yeah.
just too much. And how far do you go? And why do I have to dress like a hoe, but y'all can be dressed up like, I don't know, Winnie the Pooh, or you could be a Teletubby or something, but the rest of us have to have everything hang. It just seems like too much.
Hey, there's nothing stopping you from going as Tinky Winky. All right, you can live your dreams.
Yeah.
Literally for my birthday next year, I have a big birthday next year. I want to go to Italy and I want to dress up in those blow up costumes that are just full of air, and me and my girlfriends just run through small towns in Italy and have somebody taking photos of us just going up, like sitting
absurd.
in things and posing at the fountains. Because I just think that would be super fun and really annoying to the people of Italy, but whatever, they'll love me. I'll be nice to them when I'm not in my costume. Okay, sorry, I digress. Weird food combo. Oh, did you give me your underrated?
I guess I didn't give my underrated. Day after Christmas, St. Stephen's Day or Boxing Day, if you're from the UK. That's a great one because you're kind of like you're just like you're resting a little bit, nice and
I
chill.
literally just lost my corner.
It's a good one.
Boxing Day. Yes, I have heard of Boxing Day from my UK friends. Weird food combo.
Oh, I
that
got
you
a good one
enjoy.
for this. I
Okay.
got
Go
a good
ahead.
one. So you get oatmeal, spoonful of chili crisp, Laugon Ma. That stuff is that stuff with the red top. That's so good. We have this preconceived notion that this oatmeal's got to be like sweet or something. Make it savory. It's so good. It's amazing.
I do not like oatmeal at all, so I'm not sold on
Oh,
that. But
maybe you're
I'll
missing the
still.
Laugon Ma.
Yeah, maybe that's what
the
I.
trick.
Yeah.
Maybe you would like
Okay.
it.
I'll try it. What about you, Evan?
I don't know if I have like an underrated or like a weird food mixture, but when I was a kid, I used to take like a chocolate chip Eggo waffle, and I used to microwave it so that it was like soft, and then I would put like peanut butter, like a lot of peanut butter on the top, and then I would like sprinkle like Nesquik like chocolate powder all over that, and then I'd fold it and eat it like a taco.
Nice.
It's so good.
Wow.
When's the last time you had one of those?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Okay,
Put it on
I
the
feel like-
rider.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely going to be one of your special items that you get to have post show. Really put your energy back. That's a good energy put backer.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a word, right?
Post show.
What is the kindest thing anyone has ever said or done for you?
Oh. People in LA, they don't say kind things.
You keep you really grounded.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. Kindest thing. I don't have like the kindest thing ever in my back pocket.
I'll let you say I can edit this out. This is a hard one.
Let's see.
I'll say kindest thing is my dad is a Steel Wool super fan, and he will definitely be listening to this podcast. So that's very kind.
Wow, that's the kindest thing. That's the kind of shout out I ever heard from Evan right there. That's act of kindness if I've ever seen one. My sister will give me her leftovers sometimes, and that's very nice of her. I need to give my sister more of my leftovers. But as previously discussed,
You're hungry.
I'm a hungry guy, I'll just wolf it down. I'm down.
I have a real heart for really hungry men. I'm always like, are you hungry? Do you want me to make you a snack?
I'll make
you something to eat.
I know.
I've got something. My son, every time he comes downstairs, I'm like, okay, we have the twice baked potatoes. There's stuff that you could make. The spaghetti sauces, you could make spaghetti. And also, I just got the things for the fajitas. So if you want to have that, and he just stands at the refrigerator and is like, okay, and then pick something. But my happiest moments as a mother is feeding my boys. I just want them to be fed. I don't have to. I like feeding people in general. It's a happy feeling, making people feel.
That is a labor of love from a mom.
I just don't want you to ever be hungry. I worry. Like my son, he lived on his own for a year, and he was like, well, I got really good at making like this rice thing. It's it's just basically you could buy eggs, and then you just a couple eggs, and I bought this really $20 bag of rice, and so I've rice for like a year or whatever, and then I just did some like soy sauce, and I was like, that's what you were eating every day?
I don't know if you mentioned, but yeah, I don't know if you mentioned, but he was probably eating that every day.
Yeah, it sounds like
every day. And he worked at Chili's, and so they would give him a burger, and so occasionally he would get a burger, and I was like, I was like, I cannot believe that you were just doing this. Why didn't you tell me? He's like, what were you gonna do, Mom? Drive to my house? I was like, yes, I was gonna drive to your house and bring you food. Oh, gracious. Okay. Personality pet peeves. What gives you the ick?
Give me the ick.
I don't like lateness. I like being on time. I really hate it when I'm late. And I'm sad I'm frustrated when people don't kind of beat themselves up about being late the way that I'll beat myself up about being late. If you're late and you're like, oh, I'm so, like, I screwed up, like, I'm so sorry, then I'm like, okay, I'll give it to you. But if you're like, oh,
if you do it every time and you never say anything.
Yeah. I like being early. I like being on time as much as I can.
Mm-hmm. A big ick for me and a huge red flag is when somebody like mistreats the like service
the wait staff.
It's very telling.
No
It's
bueno.
very, very telling. So that is huge to me.
I imagine that, and I don't say this to be hateful, but I imagine that might be a frequent thing in LA.
Maybe. The fun thing is that like half the people who live here have worked in the wait staff industry before.
Right,
So
right. And
there's
that half is never going to do it.
yeah, exactly. So there's a lot
But
of
the
people
little
that are
Nepo
like that,
babies
yeah.
are going to be like, I
Could
can't
be.
believe you put sesame seeds on my salad. You know I'm allergic. I said that when I came in. Like, you didn't.
Yeah. Or traveling and expecting them to speak, like traveling to a different country and
Yeah.
expecting them to speak English and just like reading it and pointing in English and like getting mad when they don't understand.
Yeah,
That's weird too.
Yeah, it's
work it
tough.
out.
So I feel like you should know a few things. Learn a couple phrases. Know how to say hello and goodbye. Thank you. You're welcome. Could I please? And the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. At the bare minimum, please and thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I had friends that would be
start.
like afraid to do it. It's like, but what if I sound weird? I was like, who cares if you sound weird? At least you sound like you're trying.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Goes a long way.
It does.
I had a friend in high school. I took French, and his name was Samuel, and he had a very southern accent because I'm in Georgia, and he would say, "Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Je m'appelle Samuel. Je suis fatigué." Anyway, and I still to this day, it was like even Samuel could do it in France. He could try at the very minimum. Okay, what are your words to live by? And that could be this year. This is another, maybe I should just say it this way. What is the thing that you keep repeating to yourself in this phase of your life?
I got on try hard. You know, trying hard's cool. It's neat. It's really crazy to see what will like happen if you really kind of apply yourself to something and swing at it. Of course, it's important to try hard on like things that are important and worthwhile. But I mean, I don't think that it's a bad thing to work hard and try hard. And I think that now is like the right time to do it. We have so little baggage. We can be in a band and really work to try and make that happen. Not as kids yet, so that's perfect time to kind of throw everything else out the window and really just try and make that happen. I think that's a good way to live at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I try to think like I try to express gratitude like every morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, think about the band, my job, and my life, and what I'm thankful for, and why I do it. You know, you want to remind yourself why you do these things because some days might be crappy and you're doing, you know, a lot of busy work or things that you don't want to be doing, but you know, if you keep that goal in mind every morning and think about how you're just working towards those goals, that'll push you. So that's what I do.
You guys are an absolute freaking delight. I have loved this so much. I just can't get over sometimes, like every time I do it, and I was really nervous. I'm going to be honest. I was really nervous. I was like, how am I going to manage talking to two people at the same time?
Two people?
And keep it conversational? I don't know. It's like, this is a conversational interview, so it shouldn't be difficult. This is like we're sitting at a cafe and we're just happen to be talking. However, I want to get information about your band, which I probably would do anyway if I sat down with you at some cafe in LA. But I always just worry that somebody's going to feel left out or that I didn't pay enough attention or that you didn't feel heard. So I hope that you felt heard today. I appreciate you so much spending time with me from, you know, all the way in LA for some middle-aged lady in Georgia who's just trying to talk to as many artists as she can. I love music so much. I do hope that as you move forward in the world with your band, that you continue to connect with your audience, that you find your fanboys and fangirls, and that they resonate with the music that you put out, and that you stay honest with the things that you want to put out into the world, and that you stay committed to being communicators with one another, which I love so much, and cling to the roles that you have as a band and hold on tight because it may be a wild and bumpy ride, but it is so freaking worth it. Tell me about what's coming up.
Thank you.
Tell me what's coming up. Tell me, I know we just had the EP drop on April 10th, 5 songs. Tell me what's the plan for the next 6 months.
We want to tour a lot. We want to tour as much as we can, play a bunch of shows in LA, catch us at like a DIY venue. We're playing, yeah, we also want to play, we play in August. We got a big show like a Merry-Go-Round Magazine, I think, showcase.
Mm-hmm.
That's in August.
Yeah, we're playing a Permanent Record. We're opening for Mo Dottie, which is another amazing band.
Really cool band.
So yeah, follow us on Instagram.
Like,
you know, if you're in the LA area, come out and see us. Come out and say hi. You know, we appreciate it.
And music is everywhere on all the platforms and all things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure to put the relevant links and ats in the description for this podcast episode. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. I really had a good time. You guys were just wonderful. You're very good at this. I feel like you've done this a ton.
Yeah, the PR team's just off camera. They were like, don't talk about that.
This is your piece.
Yeah.
It was great.
Heather, you've been lovely too. It's been great chatting with you.
You've been great. Thank you so much for helping guide us through this. This has been awesome.
Listen, you guys come back when you guys are hitting it big and you're touring the whole world. I better get tickets to a show so I can come out and bring some friends and so I can meet you in person. I have high hopes for you guys. Just stick in there, do the fucking work, have a good time. This is the time of your lives. Just enjoy and let me know how it goes. I'll be watching.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
I really
Heather.
appreciate that.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Nice talking to you.
Bye.